David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D-404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the special court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the special court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
Where you at? Wake up when you slumber, stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on. I know you're sleeping. I gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people sue us. The people laugh us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said, the people sue us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They get loud, they get stiff, they go loud. I said, we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They get loud, they get stiff, they go loud. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have and them hope on. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the ground that they say they were poor? They too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired. They tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, they're scared they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger.
Welcome again.
The nation is poor. When you are working for the stop, stop slipping.
Junkies Morris is here again, your company.
Come on. I know you're sleeping. I gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go.
And I want to say welcome to our many listeners and our many followers here in Liberia and around the globe. Again, Liberia is under the spotlight today. As always. So today again will be fascinating. Come on. Since there are several trending national issues to be discussed. On this great platform, Freedom Hard Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. Keep tuned. As we roll out for you our talking points for tonight and observe all the formalities that power this show, Freedom Hard Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. We will also be recognizing our many followers via the social media.
Why does you laugh? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you. That's why we will tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and little abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
After we take a short break to get some words from our sponsors, we'll be right back to jumpstart our talking points for tonight.
The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us.
Samuel Pierre Jackson released from police custody in Monrovia at the LMP headquarters. Police RG just had a press conference.
Come on. I know you're sleeping.
We'll be bringing you insight as it relates to the confirmation from Colonel Gregory Como, who is the RG of the Liberia National Police, as it relates the release of a suspect, according to them, Samuel P. Jackson. Today there was another scene at the Capitol building where visually impaired and disabled people rally lawmakers
with the promises that led us to allow the damages.
Peaceably assembled and demonstrated.
You need to deceive us. Meeting we saw it frustrate us.
Calling on their lawmakers to see the need to cite the Ministry of Justice in line with their benefits. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, I beg your pardon. So visually impaired people are protesting and disabled people are protesting at the Capitol building, calling for benefits that are supposed to be given them in line with budgetary appropriations under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Motorcyclists are calling on the government to take some serious measures in regards to rising prices in the purchase of gasoline and fuel. A situation we warned you about that the crisis taking place in the West Asia region is a global war economically. And these are the trickle-down effects you get from these kinds of actions and inactions by world leaders
that I would term as miscalculation. So as we take our quick break, we'll be back and we'll jump into many topics here. Why are Guinean troops also redeploy, and what was the results from the Joe Boakai, Mamadi Doumbouya, and Julius Maada Bio trilateral discussion? What was the result from there to the extent today a huge redeployment was seen in Lofa County again? Compound complex situations being faced by Liberia under President Joseph Boakai.
Indeed, and now you need to deceive us. Making we saw it frustrate us.
So we'll be back quickly when we get some words from our sponsors, those that power this show, Freedom Heart Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. We'll be back shortly as we take our quick break to recognize our sponsors here on this platform.
Why? But are the question that we ask? It's about music. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime and report it, don't tell her in your hands for the authority. But it can't take your life. Crime stop right here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a human talking, I mean you cheche. You wait for your safety. If you see a don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety. My brother, God can bless anybody.
Win big today with Win Liberia on Freedom FM. Yes, for just $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cents United States dollars, you can win from 4,000 Liberian dollars up to 10,000 Liberian dollars. And for $200 Liberian dollars or $1 United States dollar on Japa days, you can win from 15,000 Liberian dollars, 50,000 Liberian dollars, 100,000 Liberian dollars, and up to 1 million Liberian dollars. For these amazing prizes, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom FM. Are you seeking financial empowerment, dreaming of building your future? Then your solution is Bokonjide Group of Companies. Bokonjide, your trusted partner in microfinance, construction, and general services. We provide microfinance for many institutions like
House of Representatives, the Liberian Senate, National Port Authority, Governors Commission, LRA, Gender Ministry, Corporate Development Authority, GAC, and other lines ministry and agency, with a percentage range from 15% to 20%. At Bogongire, we understand your aspiration, your goals, and your dreams. That's why we offer tailored microfinance solutions designed to uplift individuals and communities alike. Whether you are an entrepreneur with a vision or a family aiming for a better tomorrow, our microfinance services pave the way to financial independence. But that's not all. Bogongire Group of Companies doesn't just stop at microfinance. Our expert construction team brings your architecture dreams to life. From residential to commercial projects, we craft spaces that inspire, innovate, and endure. And when it comes to general services, Bogongire is your one-stop destination. From facility management to logistics, we ensure seamless operation every step of the way. With our apartment rental and furnished apartment for long and short-term stay, you will enjoy the luxury of comfort. Join the thousands who have entrusted their dreams to Bogongire. Experience, unmatched professionalism, dedication, and integrity. With Bogongire Group of Companies, your success is not just a goal, it's our mission. Visit our Capitol Building office or find us in the Royal Garden Plaza on Crown Hill, Broad Street, or call today 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603 or 0886-622-599 or email Bogongire Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bogongire Group of Companies, microfinance, construction, general services, your partner in progress. New there, do something.
Munde, do something. Do something. So that brings us to our talking points tonight. But firstly, before we jumpstart, let's recognize our followers via the social media. Excuse me. Let's recognize our followers via the social media. Musa A. Sharif is following us live from New Georgia, Gatineausville Township. Gata Harris is also following from Doe Community. Bohoman Emmanuel Lehman is following us from District number 15. Juji Nwanwe is following us. Stephen Fowler Jr. is following from Chicken Soup Factory. Michael J. Momo is following from Habel Firestone. Jopa Janine is also following us from Greenville City, Sanyo County. Salame Boima is also following us. Salame Boima is following us live also. God's Plan is following us. Yasaf Sharif is also following us. Honorable Isaac Toh is following us from Doe Community District number 14. G. Kofi Gaga is also following us from opposite the EBK military barracks. That's the Edward Biancassi military barracks, shuffling area. George Vlendid there is also following us from Water Street. Josa was following us. Jeff Tan was also following there. And thanks to all of you that are following. We say keep watching and keep listening to us via all of our platforms that you use to get us. To our topics and talking points tonight. Visually impaired and disabled people rally lawmakers today at the Capitol building. Initially, they were being stopped. They were being blocked from entering the Capitol building, the building that should be the people's building. They were being blocked. Upon our arrival, several other colleagues from the media who were together upon our arrival that they knew it was grasping the attention of the public now. I think they made 1 or 2 calls so that the tension be eased, because what happened was unprecedented. The disabled people blocked right before the UL entrance and that of the Capitol building entrance or facing the UL's gate. So the disabled people and the visually impaired, they blocked the road, disallowing vehicles to have smooth and rapid movement. That was the reason the LMP, in collaboration with Legislative Security Service, that was the reason why they were coerced and they were forced to open the door for the visually impaired people and disabled people who thought to call on their government, particularly their deputies, the lawmakers, to find remedy to their plight. And after the gate was open, they entered. Their leader addressed the lawmakers by reading out their petition, and Representative Prince Toes of District Number 8 serves as the House's Committee Chair on Claims and Petition. He received the petition and gave assurance to those people. But here is the thing. The Ministry of Gender, because of the vital role attached to its function as the ministry responsible for social protection, all of these people fall under the Ministry of Gender. The Ministry of Gender is the ministry responsible for children and social protection, not just gender. So by that, budgetary allotments have been made, advocacies have been made, discussions, agreements have been signed onto in making sure that these people are captured, since indeed the government have instituted measures to clear our streets of these people who are always plenty on the street. So we say in our Liberian way, they always plenty on the street. Yeah. So to be honest with you, you cannot say you're removing the people from the street, then you don't even have any solution at all that will see their plots being looked after or their concerns being catered to. So they are contesting that. You want us to leave the streets? You don't want our kids to be on the streets? You want to send them to school? You want us to send them to school? I think I should have that live video here. I'll be searching for a while. I'll go through this. You want the kids to go to school. You don't want them to be gallivanting all in the streets in the name of carrying their poor, disabled, and visually impaired parents around to collect small things so that they will be able to get ends meet. You need a solution, a lasting solution, a sustainable solution. Now, cosmetic solution just to school political goals, but a lasting solution that will provide for a long-term benefit for those people which of course will be in the interest of national development, because if you are justifying your national development index, all of those different facets of the society, those different indicators are synchronized under one umbrella to give you economic development. When the lives of visually impaired are improved, when people are having freedom to express themselves, when our borders are protected under our laws, when security is guaranteed, when we go to bed with our whole hearts, when we are not employing security at the same time we are still serving as security because we are not too sure what will come next, because we are observing, we are sitting and watching Liberia slipping into a gangster paradise where law and order are being disrespected. Our laws are being flouted by this president. And budget is a law. Every budget for them to live long. You see, but today what we have, a disorderly society, deranged, disorganized, disrespectful, hateful, and we just building a sense of segregation, division, tribalism, and sectionalism because of the huge level of corruption in government. Let me tell you, motorcyclists, you are calling on the government to take action on rising prices. The government, under Joe Barker, the Unity Party people, they are used to taking advantage of these kinds of circumstances to cheat the Liberian people. Watch and see. We'll get the facts for you. And what I am predicting to you, in line with supplies, stockpile, we have to know what led to the increment. And in fact, there are institutions responsible to regulate all of our activities as Liberians or as residents. So whether John Brown is purchasing fuel or gasoline for $255 US, it is onus on the Ministry of Transportation, the Ministry of Transport. Some of the power going also. The but the Ministry of Transport, Liberia National Police, in conjunction with the Liberia Traffic Management, supposed to set a benchmark. Traffic, transportation fare, traffic regulation, all of those fall under traffic management. So now when the people go to register, you get what you're supposed to get, then you forget about the rest. We should all know that the prices of goods and services, once they increase, especially that oil and gas prices are going up, they will increase. It is a clear cut that they will increase because there is a direct link from oil and gas to finished goods. So they will increase. Why they are increasing? In line with the volatility of how the market is. That's how policies, guidelines, regulations, statutes should be imposed, particularly by the Ministry of Transport in collaboration with the Liberia Traffic Management and by extension the Liberia National Police. When you do this, you have a synchronized process where taxes are now invaded. People who pay their taxes, they benefit service for the money that they pay, and you have a balanced situation where even if there are increases, the consumers won't feel it because there will be rigorous information dissemination and there will be guidelines in concert with the laws of our country to protect businesses and to also protect household, while government will be there balancing the scales for a society where we will be at ease based on good administrative policies. And the president cannot be ubiquitous. He will not be from everywhere. That's why he places people in positions. So Ministry of Transport plays her role. Those who got the contract to manage our traffic, the Liberia Traffic Management, play her role in regards to regulating prices, transportation fare. Because mind you, when these things are not taken care of earlier, they lead to chaos. You see the lady getting down from the taxi because she used to pay $150 Liberian from town to 540 junction, and she was not informed, or she's not informed of the hike in price due to the skyrocketing increase in the prices of oil and gas on the world market. She's not informed, and policies and measures were not even put in place. Cameroon just doing their own thing just because the man needs to buy gas. 700, you go, the gas is saying it 900, you buy it 900, and just put your own additional fare to the initial fare that have been charged generally. At that point, the lady going to 540 at the ministerial complex, going on a serious matter, and she just get exact transportation. Now that she doesn't have the means of paying for her transportation fare when she moves anywhere, but at that moment, that's the exact amount. Then you see a camel jumping down from the taxi to go harass the woman, embarrass her, or to go harass the man, embarrassing. When you see some arrogant people, in fact, they jump into a fight with the camel. Sometimes the camel is even much more arrogant. Then it jump, the whole thing turn into chaos. We don't want to see those things. That's why the government is set up in such a way that it's a system. The architecture is a system that's supposed to work for us, the people. Because you get a Ministry of Labor there to make sure that when Junkies Morris is working at Accelometer should make sure Junkie Morris going to Google schools in line with the work he's doing. They should get medical attention in line with the work he's doing. They should have better living conditions, not living in squalor homes as if it's a slum dwelling place when it should be a concession area. So those are the things that we need to do. Those are the things that we need to do. Ministry of Transport responsible for what they're responsible for. Ministry of Commerce responsible for what they're responsible for. Why everybody can put hands on deck and let's work this country out. And let's get the best out of Liberia. Liberia is still untapped. All we after that, those small registration money to be putting it in our back pocket, putting it on our mobile money and doing things that are backward and that will never give us any result. Because after we finish stealing the petty cash, unfortunately, when we are not in those positions and we turn late, then we have nothing to show. Then we are just hopeless and frustrated because we're involved with too much thievery. So we are saying to the government, don't use this situation to hack the prices of fuel and gasoline. It will not be accepted because the war in Iran should be all of us worry. The government should not be there to use a war as a medium or a conduit of amassing wealth, particularly extorting it out of the Liberian people. Because when you increase, misguidedly and recklessly increase the prices of oil and gas, it means that you are directly imposing taxes, unnecessary taxes, unjustified taxes, unexplained taxes to on the Liberian people and on the lives of Liberians. That will be a heavy burden adding on the already excruciating economic burden and pain that Liberians are already enduring. So we hope that as we are following situations on the war stage, we hope that the government be decorous and not do the wrong things by capitalizing on this situation to impose a harsh living condition on our people in the name of war fighting in Iran and America at war now. So it's just a little advice in line with what motorcyclists are calling the government to do. Samuel P. Jackson was released from the police custody today. Oh, Liberia. Samuel P. Jackson was released today from police custody after the police tell say Samuel Jackson. I know somebody somewhere just laughing. They turn into a joke country on a joke workout. The man was a person of interest initially when the news broke of the death of his wife. After crime scene investigation and other in and out movements by authorities from the Liberia National Police, Mr. Samuel Porumpia Jackson became a suspect. And under the laws of our country, the police have the authority to hold a suspect for 48 hours. And within that 48 hours, that suspect can be fast-tracked to court under speedy trial and not denial by the Liberian National Police in the 48 hours. The police will take their findings to the court through the county attorney office responsible to prosecute such case, because this case falls under the jurisdiction of the government. The government now is the witness in this case. So the government had Mr. Samuel P. Jackson under custody because he had been rendered a suspect based on pieces of evidence being gathered gradually. We agree. And Mr. Jackson was taken at the LMP headquarters on Saturday. Sunday, non-working day. Monday, the holiday extended, non-working day. Today should be in the conclusion of the 48 hours. Today he was released. In a press statement by the IG, the Inspector of Police, Colonel Gregory Kumo, I will try to place a call on the police spokesman to give us update, because what we are getting and what is being analyzed is troubling. It's troubling. It's troubling that murder suspect have been released to his lawyer. It's troubling that We need to know. What was the result President Bora got from Guinea? Because I was watching this morning the redeployment and reinforcement of Guinean troops, Guinean bandits, Guinean hoodlums and hooligans who decided to play on us, who decided to test our intelligence, and thinking that war is about might. Why are they redeploying? Why Mr. Bwaka used the resources of this country to fly to Guinea, and this problem was not mitigated? Mr. Bwaka returned the same day. Why? And Mr. Bwaka said at the airport upon his arrival that they realized that they are the same people. There's no need to waste time on fighting. There's no time for fighting. It's time to put more energy into developing the lives of our people on all sides of the earth. And that was it. That was it. Particularly the land that is being contested is the land that is in the Foya area. That's the land we're talking about. We're talking about our long-standing brotherly and sisterly living we've been having when we've been in peace. At the time you have not smelled the presidency, we've been in peace. We've been having mutual respect for one another until you became president. At which time we got derailed and stripped of our respect since you are the president, that you even walk to Guinea after Guinea have encroached on our land. Guinea have invaded our land. Guinea have declared war on us. The fact that Guinea will subversively enter into Liberia and firing gun all around the place without seeking diplomatic pursuit, and you say after 1 week Guinea finish having a will, they've already gained the momentum that they can do anything in Liberia, on the soil of Liberia, and get away with it because of your silence. And you say, that's it. No need for all the fight. We are brothers. Yes, we understand we are brothers. We are one family. No need for all the fight. So what are they still doing to the place where basically you go Guinea? What was the settlement? And I want to bring some of the media personalities who are at the airport to interview the president, because he's supposed to have asked the president, Mr. President, yes, you discuss all of that. So, Mr. President, have they agreed to withdraw their troops? Very simple question that needed very simple answer. Mr. President, have they agreed to withdraw their troops from the soil of Liberia? And are we guaranteed that such will not occur anymore? That the semblance of such barbaric and savage act will not be repeated? Did we get those guarantees? Or we just went on a fanfare, on a cosmetic visitation, or I would say just to to show to the world that you are around. Why did you go to Guinea? Because any reasonable mind, based on the prevailing situation in the lower belt, leading Liberia, will only go to Guinea when the crisis have already subsided, when the crisis have already been mitigated, many have been settled. There is peace. We've gone back to status quo ante. Everything remains intact. Liberia, hold your land. Guinea, hold your side. Then we can go to Guinea to show brotherly love and hug and other things. But Guinea will put up an aggressive posture. The response was inept. Mr. President, that response was inept. The response, it is because of the poor response, the immature response. That's why Guinea is still having the guts to redeploy. What did you achieve? Mr. President, the taxpayers' money you used to travel to Guinea, what was achieved on that trip? We need to know. The public needs to know. We pay our taxes. Like yesterday, government started collecting enough revenue now from the hacking of prices and fares around the place in the name of the Iran situation. I pay some of the increment in taxes by elevating from the 150 payment to a 200 LD. So we need to know, Mr. President, that some of those monies have been used on such a useless travel. Those are the monies we pay in government coffers that allow those empty engagements. And yesterday was of no exception. So, Mr. Buckeye, the only thing that you are convincing me of is everything that I said yesterday, today, and I will keep saying, Liberians will realize that I am in the right direction and I'm not lying on you, I'm not making story on you, and I do not hate you. I only know you for who you are, as an ineffective, inefficient, poor manager, weak administrator, and poor decision maker. That's who I know you to be, based on your historical records, particularly at the government level. You serve as vice president, sign onto almost all of those bogus agreements, because your signature needs to be on the document of where you reach the president. You know I know, Mr. Vice President. So you can't tell Liberian people say your squander opportunity. Liberian people say they clapping for you. I just look at Liberians. I say, hey, God. When we move from any kind of thing, because if they knew, they wouldn't have clapped for you. If they knew you were an accomplice to suffering the Liberian people, if they knew that you were a partner in orchestrating huge suffering on Liberians, they wouldn't have celebrated you. If they knew that the more than 66 concession agreements that were bogus, out of the more than 268, 266 were bogus, since all of the international transparency organizations and institutions, including the U.S. State Department and all the relevant institutions responsible for good governance, transparency, and accountability, you sign onto them. At the end of the day, you come to Ale, that kind of pony rabbit way of behaving to come Ale, that you can make it better. That scheme can work with me, Junkies, Morris, it can work with me. So that's why we are doing our best here to convey the proper message out there to our people, so they are not carried away by these fantasies being exhibited by Mr. Bwaka and his legs. Mr. Bwaka went to Guinea, achieved nothing, had photo shoots, selfies, and comes back to Liberia, addresses the press, and says nothing about the situation, and just speaks about his personal relationship with the leaders he met in Conakry, Guinea, with no mention of the terrain, the portion of land being contested, with no mention of a solution, a lasting solution to such problem, with no mention of calling on the people of that region, of that portion of Liberia, that part of Liberia, calling on them as your citizens, particularly the place where you're coming from, the place you were born. At least calling on them, they should be the first people that you should address as a responsible leader and a good bureaucrat. You call on them to remain calm, that their government that you heard, the government that you heard will do everything humanly possible, everything legally possible, everything diplomatically possible in bringing the situation to status quo ante, and citizens should remain at rest, peace of mind, remain quiet, stay out of trouble, stay out of orchestrating violence, provocation. The president is not able to talk to his people. The president is reneging on addressing the people who are faced with such trauma. Do you know the terror that have been instilled in that region by those bandits? You have juxtaposed coming into our land to encroach, terrorize our people, instill fear in their minds. Our people don't even sleep well. And the president sits in Monrovia and thinks that he's in control. Goes to Guinea and comes back with empty paper, empty result, and return as the same weakling as we know him. Do you think it's right? Do you think it was a reason Mr. Bwaka was supported to be president? To be so weak that Mr. Bwaka does not even understand military diplomacy. He said, Commander-in-Chief, look, the fact that Guinea is a invader, you as the invader, you cannot go to the invader house to go settle the matter there. You place yourself in a weak position. Where are our diplomats? Where are our experts? Where are our intelligent people? Where is the NSA? The president of the Republic of Liberia leaves Liberia and goes to Guinea to beg Guinea to leave on Liberia soil. Joe Bwaka, the president of Liberia, leaves Liberia. Using the country money. He and plenty people then behind him, the other officials then. All of them, they use the country money to go Guinea. After Guinea can take some of our land with disrespect, seizing things from Liberia, firing on our soil, amounting to treason and declaration of war against Liberia. Couldn't read Article 74. And Joe Barker, with no self-esteem, left Liberia, went to Guinea to bow down to that boy who stole power and continue to harbor gangsterism, and they are exporting the gangster paradise to Liberia. And worst of it and most frustrating of it, Joe Barker as the head of state here is indulging and wholeheartedly receiving such nonsense that should have no space in this modern world. You Mr. Barker, if you have forgotten, let me remind you. Liberia gained her independence 1847. Guinea gained her independence between 1957 to the 60s. That's more than 1 century. President Barker, maybe you have forgotten because it's a normal thing with you. So let me remind you and your legs. Liberia was more than 100 years when we fought for Guinea to become independent. The next thing is, Guinea is operating under a de facto leadership, an illegitimate leadership, an illegal leadership, a leadership that does not have the mandate of the sub-region. That's 2. 3, to show you that this is a regime of bandits and hoodlums, Mamadi Doumbouya did not think of calling you as an elder in a region, particularly in the Mana River region, as an elder, as an experienced elder, to call you and say, this is what I am hearing as briefing from my people on the ground, that the water or this particular area that should be shared between you and me is being violated. So your intervention will be needed as swiftly as possible to avoid things that we will not want to be involved with. Chaos, going at each other, and even waging war on one another. Mr. Barker supposed to take Mamadi Doumbouya either to Abidjan, or you take him Dakar, or you take him Banjul. The prayer used to be settling chaos to come, well, from Men A on Liberia, Banjul. I know you remember. Or Mr. Barker supposed to have taken Mamadi Doumbouya, the aggressor, the intruder, the invader, the secessionist, the fascist, the narcissist. Mr. Barker supposed to take him and his people. He's supposed to take them on a neutral ground, because in such case, you say, yeah, Sierra Leone is a party to the case. Okay, we agree. So the 3 countries should be in a room. The mediator should be La Côte d'Ivoire, since La Côte d'Ivoire was serving or should be serving as witness or eyewitness of how they destroy it. That's their business. Why will you go in the home of one of those that are involved with the crisis to settle it, instead of taking the crisis to the home of the neutral person who is mediating? That one is a clear military diplomacy error on the part of Mr. Bwaka and his security people. You weaken the morale of our armed forces. You create a situation where we are placed as a weak underdog, that we are placed in a category where we cannot fight back. In fact, deterrent has already been set by Guinea. So it means that anybody can encroach on Liberia and there will be no response. The fact that President Bwaka saw people taking a land, after the men finished taking a land, the men build house on the land, him, President Bwaka, take upon himself to walk to the man in the man's house, to go beg the man for the man to give a land back to you. Why do you have the military? You only have the military to use the military on your own people to kill Liberians. You only have the military to break down the homes of innocent, poor, suffering Liberians. Even though there is no program in place, there is no plan, project, and programs in line with developing those places. You are breaking down and making Liberians homeless, turning Liberians into rolling stones. Even though there are no plans and programs, no agenda, no project to be undertaken, but to vent your evil, that's why you decided to use the military against our people and turn our people into rolling stones. And today, the military that was speaking with vigor, the military that spoke with authority in dealing with her own citizens, the people who she was supposed to protect, the people who she is under every obligation to guard, defend, protect, and save. Moving on them with bulldozers, using threatening remarks, engaging them unaware. Some of them still asleep. Bulldozers moving on their homes, people properties, multi-million-dollar properties being destroyed by the armed forces of Liberia under the mandate of Mr. Bwaka. But Mr. Bwaka is not able to exert the scruples to with authority deploy our military at our borders, for which it is the reason the military was established, for which it is the reason the military is funded, for which it is the reason the military has routine or perennial recruitments. Mr. Bwaka, why are you reneging on providing military deterrence so as to bring Guinea to check? Here is the advantage that military deterrence will have in our favor. That we did not go into Guinea, Guineans came into Liberia. There is no justification, whether diplomacy, religious, and what can I say? Quran say, Bible say. There is no justification why Guinean forces should still remain on the soil, Liberia, and the flag of Guinea should still remain on the soil. No diplomacy in it. They're supposed to be pushed back. We'll put it across first, then we'll start discussing. Mr. Boakai, are you not following the trend of event? Between Cambodia and Thailand. Now learn you. That one, every citizen can be willing to lay down their lives. It's not about party politics anymore. It's not about who's right or who's wrong anymore. It's about the protection of our sovereign integrity. You are brave to make your people rolling stones, homeless, beggars. But you're not brave to protect the sovereign integrity of our borders, Mr. Boakai. You are only brave to see Liberians crying and tell them in disrespect, in dishonor, in demeaning and disgruntled manner, say to Liberians that God is not making new land. What do you say to the Guineans? Oh, Mamadi, you know, bend together, Mamadi. Yes, you know, we need to be for you. The time now, the people of 72nd, you were talking tough. Gonna making new land. When it comes to, I hope, Liberians, I hope you are listening keenly. For Joseph Boakai to take people who are putting in a seat for him to be president, like Jeffo says here, I don't know whether sometimes you can remember that you will not be president again there, early. I don't know whether he can remember. He can remind himself so that he will be very titan in his proceedings. The people who made Joseph Boakai president, Joseph Boakai brave with no remorse, no shame, no fear, no sorry. He said no sorry for Chani. He breaking the area down and say AFL at the land. Why AFL? The first area where AFL get EBK Barry, there are structures in that Barry that are dilapidated. There are structures in that Barry that are beyond repair. They got to break it down and rebuild, including the BTC. And all of other facilities they are already occupying. They do not even have the budgetary strength to do anything in regards to infrastructure development or expanding the livelihood by building more housing units. Those are things that are supposed to come from the budget. Those are programs that should be on the legislative enactment. None are available. Or none is available. None. But you just take the people from the land. Check, the rain season are coming, so rain will beat them, the area they will be squeezing all around the place, rain beat them, cool them. Then in your mind, you achieve. Maybe you have the perception that they didn't support you. So you targeting those places, your votes did not come from in the numbers. Mr. Boakai, spare me, man. The procedure is wrong. It's not justifiable. You can't do that. This is a sovereign state. You're holding back the military. In fact, they've retreated from the borderland. Under whose authority? Only Joe Boakai commands the military. He gives commands. He's a commander-in-chief. That's a 5-star. He gives command to the 4-star the chairman, John Chief of Staff, and he passed on order to the other people in line of descendant. So if Mr. Buckeye can have the courage to break Junkie Morris home down and say, God, I'm making new land. He want to go for a land in Foya, in his own backyard. He taking land from people from Chubo. He taking land from people from Satan. He taking land from people New Jersey Junction, Johnsonville, the 72nd barracks, and a military effective, very robust, but when it comes to Guinea, then a military that two-flat bulldog. As soon as it comes to Guinea, then Joseph Mamandi, yeah, I coming down there, oh, you know, we got a tow. Yeah, you're picking it already cross, so we got a tow. Joe Baka, that what made you president for? To be harsh on Liberians, then you soft on other people. Oh, so you can't pay there, or what you can do? You are harsh on Liberians. The people who made you president. But when your own home, when you reach the hall, you tie your face. As soon as you reach outside, you start laughing with different people. Oh, I see. We'll leave it there and take us. Liberians, that's for you, Joe Buckeye. That's for you, Joe Buckeye. Samuel P. Jackson released on bail, released to his lawyer, suspect of murder, released to his lawyer. La vie, bro. Check. Yeah. Joe Buckeye go Guinea, he come back with no result. The only thing we discuss, you know, brother, who saw the fuel? Yes, sir, who saw the fuel now? Brother, you took my sheet, bring it back now. Because this sheet there, I got to use this sheet to be able to withdraw some pecunium to pay my children's school fees. You say holding onto the sheet, then you say we are brother, we shouldn't fuel. But the sheet has already used to pay my children's school fee. The sheet, oh, my children, when I go to school, so there will be savages for tomorrow. I will fight you to take that sheet from your hand. I will fight you to take that sheet from your hand. So, if there was an agreement, a communique signed, because there have been previous communiques, the Manuel Young, the ECOWAS, the AU, the UN General Assembly, and several of them, even bilateral ones between we and them, the EVA, HPX, Contra, all those different things. We've been having different conversations bilaterally. So why now? That portion of land, why the people can go across back to the era, then we start discussing. The people stay occupying a place, you go Guinea, you come back from Guinea, the people stay there occupying a place and even redeploy. Who are you? You are a weakling. Call us on those numbers on 086 500 104 0776 104 104. Let's take our first caller on line one. This caller, your name and where you join us from. Oh, that caller is off the line. We'll leave it there and go to line 2. Hello? happened to them? Back to round one. Lower your monitor. Yeah, my ear, bro.
Yeah, how's everything?
By His grace, I'm guarded. By God's grace, I'm guarded.
Okay. So, what all you say?
Your name?
Anyway, I'm Morris. Yeah, Morris, my name.
But my name Morris too, but I'm Junkies Morris. So you are just Morris.
Morris.
Go ahead.
Okay, so as you were trying to land on some of.
Hello? Hey man, you're playing to hear my ear in there? Yeah, but you call, you lower your monitor. And my ears.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hello. But all of you calling, you will be by the radio. Via the phone, you will hear. Good evening, Man CC the General.
Thank you for saying I'm going to talk to our woman. Yes, it's going on. What my cost for land won't be hearing is elected. Emily and if they just want to do money to the people of that. There's people that level got full of. But we're supposed to also see the thing follow Equa and follow Equa. But in our lecture, we're going for Equa. We're going for Equa, but it's so wrong. So I didn't do the point that yes, they do wrong, but what was it wrong? Especially, for sure, he said that we did the under the one by to Twitter. The very ideal so going to the water. But they get to all yesterday, water went to the Guinea. When bad view, they started giving us fire. What if they want to first take you back to the car this morning before they could go with South Guinea, taking up a whole lot. And 5 o'clock and a half, and for leaving a village in the town, and rest the worst that they didn't know if they go and go to rescue. So, all the other people, they all the people going home. They say, we can know what to do. Taking their time. We're not praying for it. So happy to follow the president to the rescue. Yes, and the boys for putting this country about it. They want to take for money. They took the shit and give it to Guinea. They want to accept it because it's for money or for fair. They can go there by taking it. It is the horrible thing. But it's the only, I guess it's the only book because they're putting this now. So they're talking that they put it in us. We put it on the community. We're taking it, please. Thank you. I'll call for today.
Thank you, the General. We leave the General and put the line too. Lower your monitor. Everything you hear if you have the phone. Go ahead, have your seat. All right, we'll leave it there and go to line 3. Your name and where are you joining us from?
This is Edward Carr. I'm the vision impaired at the pushing for the return of President Weir.
Go ahead.
For me, it is Liberia that is causing the problem because the president don't want to be fair. They're telling Liberian people what is the problem. Because that guy that was shouting and insulting you loud and now you should be ashamed of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the president returning to the country yesterday.
Yes.
While at the airport, he could not even speak for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning, we are having Guinean soil crossing the water, setting ambush for who? So he should be a spirit. They didn't go to Conakry to sell the portion of the land to the Guinean people to agree to them that yes, you're taking. And then if he agrees to them that yes, you can't take it, you should have raised the immigration, the police, the few police guys that were there when the guys came up. You should have done that. You should have called the process and tell them that the moment you see the people crossing their helicopter, you send it over your head, you should leave and see it. But he kept it a secret because when he wanted happy, he was not happy. You know, he was being coherent and he better from Sierra Leone all 6 times to the man, then let it go. Even when he wanted to talk on the machine, he said, no, you can't talk on the machine now. Go do your side of the quality of party to allow our people to cross and usually play what they wear for and play their play before we can go to this continent of a machine. He think he remains new. It's security to us. This is a shame. This is a disgrace. When we're talking about things down because we are opposition, no. We're talking about our money, we're talking about our land, we're talking about their housing. The issue is already leaving for you right here, and you cannot get a clear-cut definition as to why it's happening. After they put it on release, now they are confessing that the other quality, PK one thing, that is giving money there, you should stop, investigation will go and blah, 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 all the kind of stuff. But you know what causes the problem over there? What guy is in Paris? That is minister.
Yeah, Nyamale.
Is the guy. Yeah. Nyamale is the one that causes the problem over there. What guy is benefiting? You know what guy benefiting? You don't care. There's no way that guy will carry open over there to mine mineral and what guy getting benefit. Anything happening, you're not here, you're not seeing you taking serious of the matter and taking action. But as long as you're getting a report, you don't care. I don't know how much what the old man want get. What do you really need to do with money? Do you know how much of activities as it is right now? So what's wrong? Are you doing with money, Papa? You're already away.
That gluttony, excessive greediness.
What are you doing with money now? You don't have too much of activity as compared to the young people. Everywhere you want to get, or talking that way in now. My brother, thank to you guys. And I pray that you have a safe trip while going home tonight. Thank you. You're speaking all and we will speak.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dave. We leave you and go to line 2 and take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, hello. This is Fogari Tito from Africa.
Go ahead now. Oh. I don't say ready, Tito. Off the line. Hello? Line 1, hello. Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. When you call, you just lower the monitor, then you place yourself in a better position to be heard on the air well. Yeah? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead now. You remember you breaking in badly. We'll leave you there and go back to line 1. Hello? Hello? Okay. Call us on those numbers on 0776 104 104, 086 500 104. Call us and be live on Freedom Hard Talk, Freedom FM 87.9. We will leave it there and take this caller on line 3. Hello? Hello? Is it a phone? Hello? Oh. Hold on, the phone giving me a problem. Yeah, so call us. You heard from other callers. You follow live videos. You follow social media comments and posts. Different interactions as to what's going on in Liberia. So from your own inner man, speak your mind. Speak your mind. We're squeezing 2 more calls. Then we'll call it a day to be here on tomorrow to give chance to the next continuity at Nassau, Anthony Stevens, the veteran media guru. Liberals, this is the time that you need to wake up. Your government is not seeking your welfare. When you stay sleeping, you should have yourself to blame. Anything that happens on your back, nobody come here. Anything to you. But what happened? When I take the call, it just go off. Take the call, go off. Look, this country will have to change for the better, because nobody will fool you when you're in your little corner and thinking that you're comfortable there. You think that's all to it. You will not be around to determine the kind of life you want your children to live. So the only thing you can do is to play a role now and set a better foundation on which the children will thrive as Liberians. That will not suffer like us. That's all we do there for. Hello? 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 What happened? Hello? We are facing problem with our lines tonight, so I think we just call it a night. We'll just call it a night since our lines are not in good shape. Anthony Stevens is trying to handle the technical aspect. Hello, let's see this other person on line 2. Hello. Same thing. Okay. That's it. Our people won't have a say. I know Baka government don't want to go to talk. So you want to go to talk, so they go call. Hello? 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 It's strange. Very, very.
10 years experience, and that is impossible.
We the after them widows, the government promised our husbands benefits and up for now we just say no good school. They have set up poor. Our anything that get a photo. The politicians stay giving us empty promises. What happened now?
Who would trust? In fact, who rather lay in the complete too? They will listen to what they in power. After elections and the people who are reporting, after election we saw they say we have lost the minority here. They say the evil in men does live after men. But the thing is, people, where you at? wake up when you stop sleeping. Move your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people sue us. The people last us. The government betray us.
So we'll leave the calls there. Until tomorrow, at which time all of the technical glitches will be mitigated.
We tire with their lies. We tire with their promises.
We say thanks for following and thanks for listening to Freedom Heart Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. It's always good having you following us and listening to us. We'll see you on tomorrow, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. All of our social media followers, Emmanuel Brewer from Minneapolis, all of you, thanks for following. And all of our listeners out there, thanks for listening to us. And we'll catch you on tomorrow's evening when we shall be back. I'm Junkies Morris, your presenter tonight, Freedom Heart Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. Good night. Bye-bye.
People sue us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They get lies, they get steal, they go round. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have them hope on. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the ground that they say they were poor? They're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired. They tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but they're scared they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying from hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation is poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people sue us. The people last us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie.
The only independent voice of Liberia. No allegiance to any political party, organization, institution, or individual. Freedom FM 87.9, your best choice.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for your authority. But it can't take your law in. Crime stop right here for us. We need sector to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see you must talk enemy, you check. Do it for safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stop, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stop, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stop, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime stop, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stop, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stop, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, From the center to interior, people are safe, let's stop it ground for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stop it ground and make it peace for them before. Stop Liberia. From the center to interior. My brother, God can bless anybody.
Win big today with Win Liberia on Freedom FM. Yes, for just $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cents United States dollars, you can win from 4,000 Liberian dollars up to 10,000 Liberian dollars. And for $200 Liberian dollars or $1 United States dollar on Japa days, you can win from 15,000 Liberian dollars, 50,000 Liberian dollars, 100,000 Liberian dollars, and up to 1 million Liberian dollars. For these amazing prizes, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom FM.
My brother, God can bless anybody.
Win big today with Win Liberia on Freedom FM. Yes, for just $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cents United States dollars, you can win from 4,000 Liberian dollars up to 10,000 Liberian dollars. And for $200 Liberian dollars or $1 United States dollar on Japa days, you can win from 15,000 Liberian dollars, 50,000 Liberian dollars, 100,000 Liberian dollars, and up to 1 million Liberian dollars. For these amazing prizes, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom FM.
Nobody plays more music. Absolutely nobody. From Central Monrovia to Wells Terry. This is Freedom FM.
When your radio
Mix by mix.
it's got to be Freedom. 87.9 FM.
Nobody plays more music. Absolutely nobody. From Central Monrovia to Wells Terry. This is Freedom FM. Mix by